to Ron Siegel Radio on ESPN Radio 1700. Now, live in studio, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please let me remind you, within every market there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. I deliver it every day. We have a focused show. We only speak about items affecting the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I'm the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Another beautiful day right here in Southern California. Yeah, I know we're getting a little bit of rain. That's good for us. If we can get it in the right sequence, right order, that'll be good for us. We can use it. And, of course, we are celebrating today. It is National Whipped Cream Day today. You can never go wrong with a little whipped cream. You gotta love whipped cream. I guess I better not consider contemplating that too long. It may get me in a little bit of trouble. Speaking of in a little bit of trouble, I saw this story and I couldn't resist because it's from a website called News Busted. It is the lidblog.com. Don't know whether it's true or not, but it is humorous, so I will share it in any event. Word is that Bill Cosby is set to endorse Hillary Clinton today. Think about that one. One bill or the other, both of them endorsing Hillary Clinton. Wonder how much the two of them have in common. I'm just wondering, next week, I think, if you watched any of the news over the weekend, we may see that next week Johnny Manziel might be endorsing Hillary Clinton if he gets out of the Vegas nightclubs and casinos early enough. Did you see that one? He was supposedly recovering from a concussion, yet there's unconfirmed rumors that he was doing his recovery at a party in Las Vegas as opposed to preparing for a football game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I suggest we may be seeing another blow-up in the making with this young man, but we'll see what happens there. Moving right along. Got a lot going on in the news right now. Obviously, we've been watching what's going on in the markets. The stock market not doing well the first couple of days of the year. The world blowing up, literally. And the president, well, at least he's moved on. Right after if you recall, right after the Paris attacks, the terrorist attacks in Paris, the president came out and his number one priority at the time was to deal with climate change, which is very interesting when you talk about global warming. And we saw pictures today, I don't know if you saw them, of the Mississippi cresting going over the banks, and they're saying that it hasn't even reached the crest yet. And a big problem out there in the Midwest. We don't think about this here, for the most part, in the state of confusion. We don't think about the concept of What happens when these rivers go over their banks in the wintertime? You see, in Illinois, as the river is going over the banks, you've got a thin layer of water and sub-freezing temperatures. So when the river starts subsiding again, but the still have the frozen water there, what are they going to do? Interesting concept, and it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I digress, talking about global warming as we see so many parts of the U.S. freezing once again. But the president, that was after Paris. After San Bernardino, the president moved on to discussing gun control, as if the terrorists care about gun control. But here's what the president, the unintended consequences, and I read an interesting book. I believe the author was Ed Klein. But the book was entitled The Amateur, and it was talking about President Clinton. Well, ironically enough, do you know what has been one of the big beneficiaries of President Obama's discussion of gun control? One of the biggest beneficiaries of President Obama's discussion on gun control? Gun sales. When President Obama took office back in January of 2009, I'm going to suggest, well, I'd actually not suggest, we looked it up, that Smith & Wesson, one of the biggest gun makers in America, their stock was selling at $2.36 a share. $2.36 a share. As I look right this second, and obviously if you're watching us, RonSiegelRadio.tv, or if you're taking a look at the replay later on today, tomorrow, whenever, you're going to see, I can't tell you what the stock will be doing then, but right now, Smith & Wesson is up $2.18 for the day. For the day, it was $2.36 when the president took office. It's $25.45 a share today, and it was about $10 a share the beginning of 2015. Consider that one. Now, I don't predict stocks. I'm not a stock picker any longer. I used to do that a little bit when I was licensed with Merrill Lynch. But holy cow, that stock chart, based on commentary from our president, a little bit scary there if you're not for these gun issues. If you are for the gun issues, different story in and of itself. But I will move right along. Gun sales, the president being the number one gun salesman in America. Very, very interesting. What else do we have on our agenda for today? Got a lot of good stuff in here to chat with you about. Wall Street. The Wall Street, China, what's controlling Wall Street? What is having the effect, and what can you do about it? I share with you every morning that I want to connect the dots for you. And when we talk about connecting the dots, our objective is to take a look and see what it is you should do, what can you do, how can you make money from what's going on in the marketplace, or as I suggest many times, it doesn't matter if you make money, what if you save money? Is saving money the same as making money? I suggest it is. The 10-year Treasury, the yield on that Treasury is down a little bit, with the Middle East blowing up right now and possibly headed to a significant war in the Middle East and no leadership coming out of Washington, D.C., you might see a big shift, and I'm telling folks all the time, a big shift into safety. Well, America is still seen as a safe haven. Our stock prices are dropping. The Dow is down right now almost 100 points, not quite. The bond, the 10-year Treasury, that's going up, which means the yield goes down on it. That helps if you're looking to restructure your home loan, maybe even buy a home. So that is a big benefit. The stock market is going to have some problems. China is still their economy is not doing well. Iran and Saudi Arabia, they're battling and they're escalating that battle. Nobody has a clue. We've always been on the side of Saudi Arabia. What are we going to do this time other than sit on the sidelines, which is apparently what the president's option is, or the president's choice is. That's what he seems to be intent on doing. So they just let them battle it out. What are the consequences of that? Well, if the U.S. sides with Saudi Arabia, well, the global economics stay basically pretty secure. But the Iranian nuclear deal blows up. The president doesn't like that idea because he thinks it's a good deal. If we side with Saudi Arabia and they fire into, if we side with Iran, they fire missiles into the Saudi Arabian oil fields, the world economy blows up. What will the president do? Again, I talked to you about the safe haven U.S. Treasuries. That's what I've been sharing with you. We'll talk more about that. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we will chat about 72% of Americans believe their finances will improve in 2016. Real estate shines as an investment in 2015. What about 16? And the best credit card tips for 2016. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Ron Siegel Radio Date Night Trivia, presented by Reunion Kitchen and Drink. Friday, Ron will pose a question based on-air conversations during the prior 7 programs. The person to post the answer according to the guest conversation will win a date night package, including a dinner gift card for Reunion Kitchen and Drink. You might even be able to say hi to Ron when you visit Reunion Kitchen and Drink.
It's not every day your home gets flooded, but when it happens, you've got the good people at Apris on your side. With over 25 years of construction and insurance experience, they can turn any disaster around, making your home good as new. For 24/7 support, call 844-GO-APRIS or find us on the web at www.apris.me. Day, night, rain, or shine, when it happens to you, you know what to do. Go Apris. Remember, call 844-GO-APRIS. That's 844-462-7747.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 01869. 9452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. You need a board of directors if you do not have one, your household board of directors. That would be a real estate person, a mortgage person, CPA, financial planner, tax person. All these people are there to help you with making great decisions for you and your family. Now, how do you get them? Do you have to interview every one of them? Well, you could, or the alternative is very, very simple. You could just text ATP, Area Trusted Professional, to 79564. Text ATP to 79564. Take a 2-minute survey, and we'll make the introductions for you to all those people. We vetted them. We know who they are. They're in your community. Let's chat about it. So what is it that people are thinking right now about the future? Interesting report. 72% of Americans believe their finances will improve in 2016. 72%. Debt, expenses, retirement planning. All might seem daunting to you, but again, 72% are optimistic according to a recent survey done with Fidelity. 37% said they were considering making a financial resolution. That's up 31% from last year, while the majority, 54%, said their goal is to improve their savings. That is a very, very interesting observation as well, because one of the big benefits, and it's not as big a benefit here in the state of confusion, but in many parts of the country, there's the equivalent of a tax break. And the reason I say it's an equivalent is many parts of the country, gas prices have dropped significantly. Well, the reason I say that is the average gas price in America, $1.99.3. That is the average gas price in America, according to the fuel gauge report at AAA.com. $1.99.3. And dropping. Yet here in California, our gas prices are going up, and on average in the state of California, $2.87.2. 287.2. That is 88 cents a gallon, more than the national average, highest in the entire country. Well, that's where the optimism comes from on this report, is people are taking the money they're saving on gas in other parts of the country. We're not saving as much, but they're taking the money that they're saving on their gas expense every month, paying down debt and saving money. They're not going out and spending it at other places. Take a look at what happened to Walmart. I think we reported that yesterday, that Walmart's stock price has been declining since they increased their wages and could not see a benefit in their sales numbers. They're not getting better sales. Well, that's a great indication of one of these issues that people are not spending. Now, we're going to see when retail sales come out. Obviously, yes, the numbers from General Motors came out today. They had some good sales numbers. Why did they have good sales numbers? Well, its interest rates are still low, and people are worried. They're starting to hear that the Federal Reserve is going to increase interest rates. When they hear that, they finally get off the dime and start saying, I guess I better act. Well, yeah, that's what we've been telling you, is who knows when interest rates are going to increase. We don't know that answer. And as long as we don't know that answer, then we've got to start looking in when they start seeing for themselves. I'm going to share with you a comment that I hear all the time. People do not believe what you tell them. They believe what they tell themselves. So yes, I've been sharing with you for quite a while, interest rates have to go up. But that's a opinion that is shared by, or I get that information, Freddie Mac, the National Association of Realtors, the Mortgage Bankers Association, all these different organizations coming out and saying, yeah, interest rates are going to go up. And yes, they have to at some point in time. They cannot stay this low forever. Why can't they stay this low forever? Well, the group of people that gets hurt the most when interest rates are low like this, the biggest group getting hurt is very, very simple. It's our seniors. It's our retirees, those people that are on fixed income. They're the ones that are hurt the most by this interest rate environment. Why are they hurt the most by this interest rate environment? Well, it's because they live off of fixed income. When we're looking at a United States 10-year Treasury, which is considered to be one of the safest investment vehicles out there, and we look at that and say that it's yielding 2%, or as I speak right now, 2.23%. People spend more than that. When we talk about, for the most part, when we talk about preservation of capital, and I'm going to go back to my days as a licensee with Merrill Lynch. I am not licensed with them any longer. But when we go back to those days, one of the common numbers that we used is if you will spend 4%, if you'll limit your spending to 4% of your principal, you shouldn't end up using you should not use up your principal. So basically what that's saying is if you've got $100,000 in your retirement fund, if you will spend no more than $4,000, again, that gives you the idea of how of the ratios here. If you'll spend no more than $4,000, you're not going to eat into your principal. Well, when we've got a 10-year Treasury that's yielding 2.23, that math doesn't work. So our seniors start using up their principal. What are the seniors most worried about? When I talk to seniors on a regular basis, what the biggest concern seniors have is, number one, are they going to outlive their money? Where are they going to live? And can they maintain their independence? Can they maintain their independence? Well, we're going to talk on Thursday with David Stocks. He's a reverse mortgage specialist with VIP Mortgage, and we're going to chat with him about one of the strategies that seniors are using so that they can take care of, number one, their independence, number two, where they're going to live, and number three, not outliving their money. That's one of the big benefits of the reverse mortgage. Is it right for everybody? Absolutely not. But I don't think any loan or any investment is right for everybody. I don't think any of them are. But most of them are right for a specific group of people. That's what we want to really be looking at. So when I circle this back to where we started this conversation, with 72% of the people looking at 2015 optimistically, is there a reason for them to think that oil prices are going to go up? Well, the answer to that question, yeah, there really is. Especially with the turmoil that's going on right now in the Middle East. The Sunnis and the Shiites, they've never, ever liked each other. Those are going back thousands of years that they haven't liked each other. So now we look at it and we say, okay, well, if they don't like each other, why have they been able to somewhat coexist? Yeah, they're always warring with each other and killing each other. Why have they been able to somewhat coexist? Well, it's been American leadership. The Iranians know that if they go and attack Saudi Arabia, the U.S. is going to jump in. Right now, because of the lack of leadership in Washington, nobody knows what's going to happen. That's not a political statement. That's just an observation. Nobody knows what the U.S. will do. I shared with you earlier in the broadcast that, what is the options? If we side with Saudi Arabia, then the president blows up a deal that he thinks is great for the world, or supposedly feels is great for the world. If we side with Iran, we've got economic turmoil in the world. Yes, the oil prices that I just talked to you about, gas prices, they're going to skyrocket. We look at gas prices now in the $30 range. Well, what's going to happen there? Right now we're looking at oil $36 a barrel, significantly below where it was. I mean, we were at over $100 a barrel a few years back, and now we're at 36. Who's that benefit? Where are we going with it? We'll chat more about that. Real estate, what's happening with it? You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, real estate was great in 15. What'll it do in 16? And some credit card tips for 2016. You can reach me anytime. Call our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel lending team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel lending team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL lendingteam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Southern California attorneys have over 15,000 real estate agents to call in Orange County for their personal and professional needs. Why do they overwhelmingly call Melinda Johnson? Simple. It's the Melinda Johnson trifecta. Melinda is an attorney, real estate broker, and realtor. Does your family deserve the same professional services California lawyers demand? Call Melinda Johnson at 714-863-5485. That's 714-863-5485. Or on the web at freedomfirstproperties.com. Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
37% of American homeowners believe they have over 20% equity in their homes. Fannie Mae tells us 69% of American homeowners have over 20% equity in their homes. Fully 1 in 3 American homeowners are not informed about the amount of equity they have in their homes. Are you one of them? How might this be holding you back from achieving your goals? Text RSR CMA to 79564 to get a property valuation from one of the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Again, to know how much your home is really worth, simply text RSR CMA to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today, being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. You want the true value of your home? Text PAIR, P-E-A-R, Professional Equity Analysis Review, to 79564. PAIR to 79564. You'll get the true value of your home, the equity in your home. Can't get it by just going online. There are services, yes, and I offer those services as well. It's not going to do as well as talking to a real estate professional. So 2015, real estate, it was a great investment category. I will share with you a survey or a compilation. I posted this on Ron Siegel Radio on Facebook. The issues here of return on investment for various different investments for the year 2015. And I'm going to just share with you valuations. I'm not even talking total investment issues. So precious metals is one class. We hear that one on a lot of the business stations all the time. You got to be in precious metals. Silver was down for the year 11.5%. Gold was down 10.4%. That's based on information from goldprice.org. According to CNBC's website, the Dow Jones was down 2.2%. The S&P 500 was down 0.7%. And the NASDAQ was up 5.7%. And according to CoreLogic, real estate was up 6.8%. Now, nobody in their right mind puts all of their money into any one asset class. And especially nobody in their right mind would put all their money in the NASDAQ. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You want diversification. You want some of many, many asset classes. So you merge these together, nothing is going to be better than real estate at 6.8%. And then think about this portion of it. That doesn't take into account leverage. Now, when you go and buy stocks, if you invest $100, well, in the Dow Jones, you would have not even got your money back. You would have only got $97.80 back. But when you invest in real estate, almost all the time, you're only investing a percentage, a fraction. So think about that. You generally, you could really, let's just look at it easy because I think the number is a little bit less than this. But on average, people put 10% down on their real estate purchases. Yes, I know the best way is 20, 25%. But there's a lot of first-time home buyers there that are putting significantly less. So let's just use a number of 10%. Heck, you could even use 20% if you want to. If you use 20% down, then real estate, the return on investment based on the CoreLogic values would be over 30% return. Now, you don't get to count it really because you didn't sell it, but 6.8 times 5 is 34%. Nothing else is anywhere close to that. So you need to be getting into the game. And let's talk about a few other issues. A survey by the Joint Center of Housing Studies, Harvard University, reveals that when a family is buying a home, they consider the financial benefits of home ownership along with social benefits. What are social benefits? Number one, paying rent does not make sense. Home ownership provides good financial opportunity. We've talked about that. The homeowner is 45 times more net worth than does the renter. Owning a home helps building family wealth. Buying a home is investing in your retirement. Home equity gives you something to borrow against. I had two people recently, right in the last weeks of the year, call me. One of them said that I've got my daughter's getting married. I want to take some home equity out. What's the best way to do it? Well, today's valuations, pretty simple answer. Somebody else called me and said, I want to remodel my backyard. I want to take some home equity out. Again, same answer. Restructure your loan. Interest rates are still very, very attractive. Don't go to the home equity line of credit if you don't have to, because that's variable. So that the issues then become restructure. If you're the one that wanted to take $20,000 out of their home, the issue with them was going to be very, very simple, that they were looking at the idea of $80 a month it was going to cost them to take $20,000 out of their home. That's just their situation, their credit ratings, everything else. Yours may be a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But the bottom line is that they could do it without having a huge financial hardship. And so you say, Ron, they're going to be paying for that wedding for 30 years. Well, maybe. Because if they can afford to pay more than $80 a month, there's no prepayment on this. They're able to make those changes, those modifications, and they can pay that down significantly quicker, not a problem. Well, the next question then comes up is two issues here. Number one, I'll finish the discussion of the investment for 2015. Home ownership, social benefits, and financial benefits both. So where do you go wrong? But now you look at it and you say, okay, Ron, I got that. But I had some issues and I filed bankruptcy. Maybe you know somebody that had a foreclosure, a short sale. Well, now that there are lending programs out there that will help these issues, there are programs, and I'm going to suggest to you that if you remember the old days, the dirty word, subprime. Well, no one wants to talk about subprime now. There was subprime just like the reverse mortgage and every other loan product. There were benefits to it. I'm not going to say any program was bad. I helped some folks back in 2004 with subprime loans. They had the option of taking a subprime loan or losing their house. They could afford that subprime loan. Do you think it's better to lose your house and be homeless or take out the loan? Now, here's where people got in trouble with that because they didn't listen. If you take out the subprime loan, pay off your credit card and revolving debt, do not take out more debt, get your credit rating increased, restructure that loan a year later, refinance it, get a prime loan, and you've got a game plan for success. Here's where the problem came in. People didn't listen. They went out, they paid off all their credit card debt and went and bought a new Sea-Doo, went and bought a new car, went on vacation, bought a new computer. Stupid things. So then they get back in the same problem again. You get to 2007 and the property prices are not appreciating the way they were. Those people got in trouble. Was it the loan that did that? No. It was the fact that they didn't listen to us. We told them, don't do this. So today I'm going to say the same thing to you. I'm going to say follow a game plan. There is a fresh start program available. You don't need a mortgage or rental payment history. You can buy right after, one day after bankruptcy, foreclosure, deed in lieu, short sale. Did you hear me say that? One day after. Do you need a little bit of a down payment? A little one. Can you do a purchase? Yes. Rate and term refinance? Yes. Cash out refinance? Yes. Do you have to have a great credit score? No, 580. That's not a great credit score. 580. Surveys tell us that people think when you talk about a great credit score, they listen to these stupid commercials, I think it's Experian does them, that says, I got a great credit score, it's 800. Well, heck, yeah, 800 is a great credit score, but you don't need that for anything. 750 gets you the best rates there are. 720 gets you good rates. This program will go down to a credit score of 580. There are others that'll go down to 500. Loan amounts, $100,000 to $2 million. Does that fit you? Again, all of these are attributes. It's back to common sense lending. Does it cost more? Yes. Does it cost less than renting? Yes. You get the appreciation. We're in California. CoreLogic is telling us, and I don't know whether it's true or not. It's not my number. It's CoreLogic. They're the gurus. They're the geniuses in forecasting real estate. They're talking 5.2% national appreciation, 10.8% in California. So if you had to pay 5, 6, 7% to get 10%, does it make sense? You make the call. 30-year fixed rate loans. I would recommend, when you look at a program like this, a Fresh Start program, in many instances, the adjustable rate loan might be even better for you. Have to see what the spread is, depending upon your situation, your unique situation. But if you can be fixed for 5 years and then go to an adjustable, we're talking about a 2-year game plan. We want you to refinance before 5 years. We'll talk more about it. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Also, when we come back, real estate shines. Oh, we did that one. Best credit card tips for 2016 is the other one on the docket. You can reach me anytime. Call our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a loved one who wants to stay in their home, but you have health concerns about it? The Preferred Care team understands the challenges of caring for your loved ones. Their goal is to keep seniors as independent as possible while maintaining their health, safety, and overall well-being. Whether you need just a few hours a week or 24-hour care, Preferred Care caregivers are trained to meet your needs. Call Preferred Care at 714-696-9150. That's 714-696-9150. Or visit preferredcare.com.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Visit www.ready.gov to start your family emergency plan.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today, brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. They all are. What are you going to do about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. They have a offer on their website right now. I think it's their FES protection plan. And I believe it's $87 a month or $89 a month. It includes working on your credit report. It includes LifeLock. It includes a drug program where it does the shopping for you for different drugs in your area. It helps you pay off your debt in the right order. Great service right there. $87 a month for as long as you need it. I would suggest it's a budget item because your credit report is constantly changing. You never know when you're going to need it. And it's a consistent item that you should be. It lets you even look at your credit scores whenever you want the real ones, not a FACO score. And as I've talked to you in the past, there's 9 different credit scores, 9 FICO scores that you can actually look at. 9 true and legitimate FICO scores. Three of them are mortgage related, 3 of them are auto related, 3 of them are credit card related, all different issues. So I thought I would share with you this morning a few credit card tips for this year. Got to always, as I mentioned to you on a regular basis, you've got to really be looking online. If you're not looking at your credit cards online, you're missing a lot. There are bonuses that you can opt into online. They're cash back. Sometimes they're as much as 5% on a specific category. They're limited as to how much you can get there. There are times when you may even want to consider balance transfers. Now, a lot of people look at me and they say, Ron, balance transfer, they're going to hit me with a big fee for the transfer. Well, maybe, but what about the options that some of them have? They might charge you 3% for a transfer fee, maybe a 2%, 1% transfer fee. But the teaser may be that you get 6% interest free or 6 months interest free. So now you're paying the equivalent of 6% interest on the money. What are you paying on that credit card right now? Just a thought. You got to look at it. You got to master these issues because you may have to transfer it to another card after that. The whole idea there, like I was sharing with you in the last segment, is to figure out a payoff strategy. Now, when I talk to you about transferring balances like this, it's not so you can manipulate money, get more credit, and continue going further in debt. No, that's stupid. What I want you to do is apply the same payments, figure out a strategy to get these paid down. Put an extra $10, $15, $20, $50 a month to the bills instead of going and just watching them grow. A lot of times, if you do the workout on some of these different credit cards, I saw one of them recently, that if you just made the minimum payment on this particular credit card based on the interest rate, the balance, and the minimum payment, this person was looking at like 300 years to pay off that debt. Now, I don't know about you. I probably won't be here in 300 years, and I certainly don't want to be paying on the debt for that long. So think about the strategy to pay it off. If it means one less Starbucks drink a day or a week and putting that money toward it, doesn't that make a little bit more sense than what we're doing right now? Just a thought. I would suggest you got to really look at some of these issues and make a game plan. We've been talking a lot. You know, the new year, we constantly talk about that. New Year's resolutions and plans. Some of them and many of them we end up dumping way too quick, right? We look at them and we make a New Year's. Heck, last year, I've shared this with people before. Last year, I had a New Year's resolution of losing 10 pounds. I missed by 15. Well, this year, maybe we'll try and lose some weight this year too. Think about gyms. I mean, the great industry of the world is these fitness clubs, LA Fitness and 24-Hour Fitness, all these different clubs. Huge business first of the year. A lot of people, you can't get on a machine there if you had to. By the third week of January, the second week of February, they're back to being empty again. Why is that? Well, it's just because we don't continue on these plans. We don't follow through with them. Pretty foolish, but it is the way of our society. Let's make a plan, a game plan for your finances. I shared with you the report earlier today that 72% of Americans believe their finances will improve in 2016. Do you think it's going to happen by accident? No. You have to plan for it. You have to strategize. That's what we've been talking about. Get a new house. Get your own house. Stop paying rent. It gives you different options there. Get in the game. Now, we talked the last segment about buying a new house or doing that cash out refi, even if you've had some sort of a derogatory issue. One day out of bankruptcy, one day out of foreclosure, one day out of short sale. Can you imagine what it would be like if you didn't have to be buying or paying 30% interest? We've talked in the past about the debt consolidation loans, where you take all of your debts, pay it off of a new loan. This Fresh Start program is just that. It's a fresh start. Maybe, the interest rate is a little bit higher. I don't care. Because what's more important to you is how does it compare to your blended household interest rate? You don't have to put everything into it. Only put your credit card debt in there. We've got, $30,000 on average as Americans in credit card debt, paying 9, 15, 20, 30% interest. Does that make any sense? Then you take and you look at some of the other issues. What if we're paying 7% on student loan debt? Throw that in there, because it's going to make your payments lower, your mandatory payments lower. Think about this side, because here's one of the issues that I get all the time. Ron, I'm afraid to get back in the game. I'm afraid to go buy again. I had a foreclosure. I don't want to buy again. Wonderful. You're making somebody else's mortgage payment instead of your own. You're not getting that value. Does that make sense to you? Really? Pay somebody else's mortgage instead of getting the appreciation? Here in California, CoreLogic telling us 10.8% next year. So you buy a $300,000 home, you're talking about nearly $32,000 in appreciation if they're correct. And that doesn't account for the fact that what if you get a great deal on a property? What if? Just think about that. These are the issues that you really need to understand. And then we talked earlier about the social benefits here as well. Now, what if you're one of the people, again, I go to the what ifs. What if you are one of these folks that are looking at a high balance loan? You're saying, Ron, well, those are good because some of those are going to be the conforming loans. Well, no. There's the jumbo alternative as well. 90% loan to value, no mortgage insurance. A debt to income ratio, 50% with a FICO score as low as 660 on this program. How about if you don't have income? Sure, no problem. How about if you've got restricted stock? No problem. Again, fixed rate loans, adjustable rate loans, interest only loans. These are going to be the bigger ones, $417,000 up to $2 million, and you're not limited as to how many properties. It's a true cash out up to $500,000. These are all issues that you can deal with. How about acreage? Yeah, 50 acres, not a problem. Rural properties, non-rural properties. There are what my basic message is today, very, very basic. When you cut it all down to where we started and what our message is, think about this. It's get in the game. You can't tell me that there's no loan program for you, because there is. If you've got a job, if you've got a way of proving that you can pay back a loan. This is what lenders want today. This is 2016. It's not 2010. Lenders want to find a way to get some sort of return of their investment and return on their investment. They want to find a way to beat that 10-year return on investment that is a 10-year treasury at 2.23%. They want to do better. How do they do better? They do it with some of these different loan products that I've just been talking to you about. They do it by charging a little extra interest rate and coming up with a better program and going maybe an asset depletion. They've got the collateral of the real estate because they see that real estate is going to do better this year. And if real estate's doing better, they're going to get better than that 2.23% they can get in a 10-year treasury. They can do better than losing 2% on the Dow Jones. They can do better than losing 10% on gold and silver. That's why they're looking to do this. It's not because they like you, it's because they want to better themselves. We'll continue this conversation, but not today. You need to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Steve, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your time with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you want to get in the game, call me. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Missed any part of our broadcast? youtube.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
In the middle of our streets, our house.
XAPA News 700 AM kita Balikan.
You're listening to ESPN Radio 1700.
Each day, more than 1.6 million Americans suffer with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Support